Hey everybody, Junior 2000 here, coming at you with my review of the 2024 remake, The Crow, starring Bill Skarsgård, Danny Hudson, FK Twigs. And I don't think this was a terrible movie, but it still was a bit of a piece of shit with most of that first half of the movie. But I did like this last hack for some reasons, because I did like that pretty badass shootout that you see in the fucking trailer. So that's no spoilers for that. But I'll go to spoilers free and count down in the middle of the video. And it's also in the description, folks. If you want to time skip it, if you want to still watch this movie. But if not, just listen if this movie, because anybody does not want to see it and think it's a piece of shit, just hear my review. I'm gonna explain it. Well, this is a remake that nobody did not want to see. Most of the creators from the original movie, Alex Parias, Ernie Hudson, they did not want to see this movie being made. And for 15 years, they wanted to remake this movie with different directors, different actors, from James McAvoy to Bradley Cooper to Jason Momoa, or aka Jason Mamma Mia. He was this close to doing the movie, but they didn't do it with him. And he also has screen test makeup that you see a short of him with the makeup, which kind of looks like eerie resemblance to Brandon Lee with the hair and the makeup, and besides like his bodybuilding muscle body. But all in all, I would have liked to seen him in it, but all in all, he declined and went to other projects. But they secretly filmed this movie with Bill Skarsgård from Shit 2017. If you're wondering what the hell is Shit 2017, it's the It movie Pennywise, which I don't really care for that movie. I think that movie's overrated. To me, the TV miniseries is better. That's why I call it Shit 2017. But Bill Skarsgård was decent in Barbarian. I thought Boys Kill World was okay, but I would say he was better in that movie. But this one, he's decent. Like, he's no Brandon Lee. Like, I agree. Like, nobody's gonna fucking replace him, and nobody's gonna replace the fucking original movie, because nobody did not want to see this fucking remake. So, like, I wouldn't say this is a slightly a rant, but I still think this movie kind of sucks in the first place. Just for the first half. But all in all, this movie is about where they do extend the story where Shelly and Eric are having the relationship, where it's more developed here. But all in all, Bill Skarsgård wasn't bad, but FK Twigs as his girlfriend Shelly, not much for the actress. I know she's a musician, but her acting was pretty fucking boring and just dull as fuck. Not really having emotions. It just, her and Bill Skarsgård didn't have no fucking chemistry. Like, they could have put a better actress in this role. Like, you could have put Alexandra Daddario or fucking anybody else. But I don't know why they got FK Twigs. She wasn't good in acting. I don't know if she was in other movies, but I know she's a musician, but I never fucking heard of her. But it's just, her acting was boring as fuck. And I was really regretting of trying to watch this motherfucker, because I am a loyal fan of the original Crow. I even like some of the sequels, besides that Wicked Prayer movie is a piece of shit. But all in all, it wasn't like a piece of shit remake that I have, like Black Christmas 2019 or April Fool's Day remake, but I still think the original kicks this movie's ass. Like, even though I'm going to say some positive things like in the middle of the review, I still just feel like niffy about this movie. But let's get to the review. It opens up with his bloody body swimming in his fucking blood, which is cool. And then you see Eric as a kid trying to save a horse, but he tried to get barbed wire off its leg. But his crack whore mom or something did not want to help, so he had to do it by himself. And then it releases back to his his current self now as Bill Skarsgård. And then one leads to another. Shelly's trying to get away from mob gangsters because they record a video and they're trying to get away with it. But she runs into cops that bust her because they find drugs in her bag. So her and Eric are in a rehab center, and that's where they meet up. And one leads to another. They try to escape, and the facility is a piece of shit because there's no guards or no security cameras anywhere to capture them, caught them escaping. So like this is the shittiest rehab center with no security system. So like it's pretty damn easy for them to get the fuck out, but what leads to another. They run away, they go to this retreat group where they're campfiring, swimming in this fucking pond, naked and shit, skinny dipping, and both FK Twigs and Bill Skarsgård don't even have fucking chemistry, so like it's very boring throughout that relationship, and it's just very forced and farce as fuck. So like the first half is just a piece of shit, and of course they're getting they're getting like feared. Like FK Twigs at Shelly, she's kind of getting feared that the gangsters are gonna follow her because she sees one of her friends that was involved trying to warn her, but at least to another, they get that out of their cafe. And here's the spoilers: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. They go back to the apartment that they were hanging out, that they hang out and lived at. But one leads to another. They get Daniel Bryan suffocation by John Moxley with a shopping bag. They both get shopping bags, cover their face, and suffocate them to death, and that leads them to die. And what leads to another, they suffocate them, and then Eric is sent into the purgatory well where CGI fucking crows are flying, which I thought was kind of shitty to see CGI crows. But he sees this guy as a mentor telling he's a regular guy. It was meant to be Skull Cowboy from the comics, but they changed it to a guy instead, not Skull Cowboy, which would have been cool to see Skull Cowboy, but that's kind of a piece of shit change. But he gives him the deal that if you go back, you will be damned to hell. And of course, he gives him the cut and then his cut and touch it and makes the deal. As soon as you make your save with Shelly and make your revenge, you're going to be damned to hell. There's no be going back from this return. And of course, he makes his agreement, goes back, has a bit of a car chase with the monsters that he's trying to get away, like get into their car and kill them. But he gets thrown out into like a CGI traffic bullshit, and his legs gets broken, which is pretty good practical. It's not CGI crap. You get like the bone breaking and it's sticking out of his leg. Good practical effects. I'll appreciate that. And he puts it back in where he feels the pain. Puts it back in, and one leads to another. He goes and see his crack gangster friend, telling him what happened with him and Shelly, and one leads to another. The mobsters go there. They shoot his crackhead gangster friend, and then they shoot Eric, and that puts him into a little bit of a dream thinking about Shelly. And then one leads to another. He wakes up, grabs a gun, shoots these motherfuckers in the face and the chest, and then grabs the last guy who's there, headbutts him with the shotgun, and starts like swinging the gun and practically slamming it into his face till it squishes down. We don't see it, but we see like a bunch of blood splattering on him, but he's bashing it like a hammer, and it's pretty badass. I'll admit that. It was a pretty badass part. But he goes, relaxes, take a smoke, sees the message that they're meeting the other bad guys are going to be at this opera, and then he gets his coat makeup where he paints grease paint on it, which this fucking beats Ever Furlong's Crow because he used a fucking Sharpie, which is stupid, but he uses grease paint at least, even though it's not the best look because he's missing the white paint and the long hair. But I appreciate that they also used some pretty good music, which is a big surprise. They used Sleepwalkers, Steaming Clean Sleepwalkers theme song, sung by Enya, the Bodega song. Oh yeah, that theme song for Sleepwalkers. It's played in the background, like where he's painting his face and he's ready to go to the opera, kick some ass. And then he does that. He goes there to the opera. There's a bad guy lady, and then there's a bad guy old guy, and then he goes there, kills like henchmen that are waiting at the entrance, stabbing them with the sword, slicing them, cutting them, grabbing the sword in some dude's face and squishing into his jaw, where it opens and his jaw and tongue are shown in a graphic matter where it's cut through. And then he stabs like swords in people's faces. One of them grabs the sword and stabs it in Eric's chest, but he falls on his back and stabs it into somebody that's laying there with one of the bad guys. And then he gets one of the knives, stabs it into the guy's eye, and then kills more, slashing, dicing until he stabs the guy's head with the knife, sword, and then one leads to another. He goes and sees the old guy, cuts the motherfucker's head off, and one leads to another. He meets up with the old lady villain who's trying to bullshit her way out, like, oh, I'm sorry what I did. And yeah, this is why I appreciate, like, I would say I'll give credit to this. This is the better ending than Wicked Prayer, because he doesn't give a fuck. He kills her head off screen, and then guess what? He brings them up, throws them in the audience at the entrance of the opera play, and then at the audience, shows you he didn't care if you're trying to fucking find sympathy. He kills you. That's the thing that pissed me off about Wicked Prayer, is that Tara Reid's character doesn't get fucking killed, even though she was involved cutting his girlfriend's, Edward Furlong's girlfriend's eyes out, but she doesn't get killed. That's stupid. No, this lady, even though she wasn't really much. She was part of this gang group, but all in all, she still got her comeuppance, which I appreciate that. At least that was better than Wicked Prayer, which was stupid that Tara Reid survived and he just got arrested, which is bullshit. They should have just let Danny Trejo shoot her. But all in all, he kills the girl, the old lady, and then still thinks about Shelly and wants to bring her back. And then he goes to see Danny Hudson, who's the main villain of this movie, which I thought he was okay. But to me, Michael Wincott, Top Dollar is a better fucking villain. Like, to me, Top Dollar was fucking better. This villain was okay, but of course he has a fight with Danny Hudson, but it turns out he made with a deal with the devil, so he has double juice power, so he's like fighting with the crow. And then they kill each other, and then they go back to the purgatory, and then he has a fight more with Danny Hudson until he drowns him, and then bunch of CGI bullshit crows fly into Danny Hudson's chest and mouth and kills him and eats him alive, and one leads to another. He gets his revenge. He brings back Shelly, tells Shelly the bad news that he can't be back, and I'm going to be damned to hell. He says his kiss, gives his last kiss and goodbye to her, and she's revived by a paramedic that turns out to be the same mentor that helped and gave Eric that deal in Purgatory. He says, your boyfriend saved your life, man. And of course, Shelly is sad that Eric is gone. He's damned to hell. And of course, he's wandering in the purgatory. He's going to be damned to hell. And then you see CGI fucking crows flying, and one of these to another. It flews into the screen, and that's where the movie ends. I heard there was an original ending where it was going to be a sequel bait ending. But all in all, there's going to be no damn sequel, because this piece of shit flopped. But spoilers, done. All in all, like, yeah. But all in all, that was the Crow remake. I don't think it was the worst remake, but it still had a piece of shit first half where it was fucking boring. But the last act where it does have some pretty cool shootouts and practical kills, which I appreciate, and it just have a little bit of John Wick, a little bit, but it still, to me, doesn't save this movie. Like, I would say I'd rather watch this over the fucking Wicked Prayer, because Wicked Prayer, I still think that's a piece of shit, and that's still the worst fucking Crow movie. But Bill Skarsgård was okay. He was decent. Not great as, like, Brandon Lee's Crow, but all in all, the series has been kind of a clusterfuck, too. Like, you didn't really need sequels. You should have just left the first movie alone. And also, like, you didn't need this fucking remake in the fucking first place. Like, you could have just left this alone. Like, I know it's trying to be different. I know it did different where, okay, you get more of the story with the Eric and Shelly getting more storyline, but it doesn't mean dick to me because both aka Twigs and Bill Skarsgård didn't have fucking chemistry because they put a really boring actress, not an actress, but a musician as an actress in this fucking role. Her acting was fucking boring as hell and terrible. Put me to sleep at times, but all in all, I did like the first. I like the last act, but it still doesn't mean shit. Like I like to me, like it's a mix. I would say it's a mixed bag movie. Some people may call it a piece of shit, rightfully so, but because you didn't need a fucking remake, you should have just left it alone. Left Brandon Lee be rest in peace. Just leave his first movie alone. You didn't need it. And then, of course, the director, the original movie of the director from the first one said, "Oh, it's gonna be a cash grab." It's not gonna be a cash grab because it's fucking bullshit flop, and it's not gonna have nothing else afterwards. It's not gonna make a sequel because it fucking flopped 3 weeks after it came out. It went straight to streaming. So like, it's a piece of shit from going from a theater to a streaming now. But yeah, that's the Crow remake. Mixed bag. Part of it's a piece of shit, boring piece of shit, but the other half is okay, an okay movie, but pretty much a mixed bag, a piece of shit and okay. But yeah, that's the Crow remake, folks, and see you in the next one. And take care, folks. Have a good day, and that's all the Crows. And also, my thought about the Shiva show, it was only one season, and I like Mark Dacascos. He was the best thing about it. I wish he was in one of the sequels, City of Angels, but he's a very underrated martial art actor from John Wick 3. But that show just fucking flopped. But all in all, the sequels are decent. Wick compares piece of shit. But all in all, the remake, mixed bag. But see you in the next one, folks. Bye.